Okay, hey there guys. I thought I'd do something a little bit different today as well, and have a look at my current dwarf army for Warhammer. This is probably the only army that I've ever painted mostly in its entirety, and I'm pretty proud of it. And I thought I'd show you some of the models and see what you guys think. Let's have a look at these guys first. I painted these guys last night. Some miners. Did a bit of a different thing on there. First time really heavily using the flock for like dust and ash. I'm sorry if you can't really see the models very well. It's not focusing greatly, but there you go. It's the miners. There's one missing, but I'll get to him later. Here we've got some great weapon dwarfs here. Who I've painted up. I've got this guy. Yeah, I've gone for a very simple paint scheme that doesn't involve a lot of effort, really. It involves like basically really good washes. Is the main thing that helps out here. Got another unit of Great Weapon Warriors there. Moving along, got the organ gun. Let's just move this guy out of the way for a second because he's not important, really. Then we've got an organ gun, a cannon. This is from the Battle of Skull Pass, the cannon, and another cannon which is metal. Behind them we've got some thunderers, which I thoroughly enjoy playing with. Amazing unit. Then we've got some hand weapon and shield warriors here. I've used a couple of last edition dwarves in there as well. But yeah, there's some health and shield guys. Then I have some iron breakers back here. Most of these guys are all last edition dwarves, with the exception of a few guys at the front, who are the actual iron breakers, and been using them as proxies until I can get more, or until they do them all in fine cast, really. Let's have a look at the heroes. These first set of heroes, this guy included, are from the Kings of War range, actually. We have my sometimes battle standard bearer, a dwarf king there on his rock, a war priest, a war smith I think they call them, and a berserker, or a slayer, a berserker. One thing I did do is I'm really heavily into the lore of the game, so I wanted to bring in some special characters, but I didn't want to pay for the metal. So I created a Joseph Bugman here, with his flask of ale, and his ranger cloak on, and he'll be leading some of my rangers into battle, my quarrelers. We also have a runesmith back here, who painted up. Another runesmith, you can see him there. We have a dwarf lord that I've done in sort of like black Gromril, I call it. Demon Slayer there. Demon Slayer. Another dwarf there who I need to finish off, but he's holding an orc head because I mainly fight orcs. Got an engineer behind there, you can see him. The dwarf lord Thane from the Battle of Skull Pass box. Painted a long time ago now. The Dragon Slayer from the same box, and this guy who is my battle standard bearer, who I made out of an old dwarf from last edition and a new standard. So some skulls on the side, painted them all good. But yeah, that's everything that I've sort of painted so far. As you can see, there's quite a few dwarves there. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 100 dwarves there, just in regiments alone. That's those miners again. But also we're going to go and show you some of the other models that I'm working on at the moment. So we'll go over here, and we'll go onto the painting table. We've got a dwarf here that I'm going to be working on. At the moment he's just dry brushed. This is my painting area, as you might imagine. We've got some Avatar of War Slayers here. I've just painted up one of them so you can take a look at what they're eventually going to look like. Gone with a sort of dirty, gritty look. Admittedly they all look like bloody Gotrek, but that's to be dealt with, I suppose. They're all black, sprayed black now, ready to be painted. Behind them we've got a unit of Quarrelers, who will be eventually a unit of Rangers, who did really well in my last game actually. Here we've got one of the Rangers here. Who I've painted up, and he's got his foresting cloak on, crossbow, which I've tried to do in a little bit more detail than just dry brushing it and leaving it like that. I tried to do it in wood, as if these guys actually do have to make do with things above the surface, as it were. I've also got a few plans to do some scenery with this guy. He was the standard to the Avatars of War Slayer set, but I intend to use him as some kind of altar. I'm going to stick into some rock and stuff like that, and use him as like a Slayer icon, as it were, because I don't know whether you can tell really, but he's carved from stone. Very good though, nice bit of extra stuff. And then the thing I'm going to be working on next is something a little bit different. My new army is going to be Beastmen. But we shall have a look at those guys next video. And I'll show you the paint scheme that I'm going to do with these guys. So there you go. That was a little bit of a look at my Warhammer side of things, and just remember guys, it's all because of dwarves, beards and beastmen. Not dragons anymore, just dwarves, beards and beastmen. Alright, thank you guys, and I'll see you again soon.